Hey everyone, Kristen Lago here for GetSportsFocus. Welcome to week 2 of Around the Pac. Now, it was a crazy weekend for Pac-12 athletics this opening week. They kicked off college football week 1. A lot to talk about. 11 schools out of 12 for the Pac-12 took the field this weekend. Like I said, opening weekend of college football. I don't have time to talk about all 11, but I am going to break down my top 2 games of this weekend. Starting with the North, I want to talk about the Cal Berkeley Bears. Now, it was the first game under their new head coach, Justin Wilcox, and it was an encouraging win for the team as a whole. They took on UNC on the road to kick off their season. Now, the defense looked much improved under a defensive-minded coach like Wilcox. That's not too surprising, but the Bears tackled well, and they didn't give up any big plays at all during that 4-quarter game. Now, the offensive side of the ball also looked much improved for the Bears. The O-line was able to block effectively, and their quarterback, who took his first college start of the season on Saturday, was able to bounce back from 2 early picks. The Bears ran away with that one, beating UNC 35-30. Just an encouraging win for the Bears, who have struggled in the last couple of seasons to really keep any sort of momentum. They'll be an exciting team to watch. I think you'll see a lot of development from that team under Justin Wilcox. Now, moving to the South, I can't help but talk about UCLA, the comeback kids. If you don't know what I'm talking about, please go watch this game online. Just an incredible Pac-12 after dark game day on Sunday. Quarterback Josh Rosen, the chosen Rosen as he's referred to by many sports writers, led the team to an incredible fourth quarter comeback against Texas A&M. The Bruins were down 44-10 in the third quarter, and with 45 seconds left, Rosen played an incredible fake spike a la Dan Marino for the TD pass to Jordan Lasley. He capped off 35 straight points for the Bruins. They shocked Texas A&M, and I mean shocked Texas A&M 45-44. Just an incredible game for UCLA fans and non-UCLA fans alike. An incredible comeback win led by Josh Rosen. Now, stepping away from the football field, I want to talk about an athlete on the volleyball court for a spotlight of the week in week 2 of the Pac-12. I'm talking about Ronica Stone, the middle blocker out of the University of Oregon. Now, Stone was named the MVP of the Oregon Volleyball Classic that took place this Saturday. And in Stone's case, MVP has a dual meaning, both most valuable player and most vibrant personality on the court. She's a real bright spot on that Ducks team. They're currently 4-1 this season. And this weekend, the 6'2 sophomore, she combined with a fellow sophomore, Willow Johnson, for 15 kills. That's all without an attack error. She was dancing along on the sidelines. Just a real bright spot on that Oregon team. Definitely one to watch moving forward. Now, I want to talk about my highlight moment of the week, and it has nothing to do with the game, really. It's the moment at the USC season opener against Western Michigan, where Jake Olson took the field as the long snapper. Many of you have heard his story. He became blind after suffering from a rare form of eye cancer of the retina. He lost both of his eyes by the age of 12. He's been a longtime member of that Trojan family, really taken in by former head coach Pete Carroll, an inspiration to that team. And when he came into USC 2 years ago, he became a member of the football team. No one really thought he would play in live game action. That all changed this Saturday. He came in, really sealed off that win, snapped the ball perfectly. And I can tell you from experience, I was at that game. It was quiet in the Coliseum, just a real moment of brotherhood between the Broncos and the Trojans. Obviously, the Broncos could not rush the center on that play. They understood that. They let him have his moment, snapped the ball perfectly. Seeing the reactions on the USC teammates' faces, just a truly special moment in college football. I highly recommend you go watch that online. It's one of my favorite, and I think it's going to be a real highlight throughout this whole season. Coach Helton said after the game, it's not the last you'll see of Olson, so I look forward to seeing what he can do moving forward in USC's season, and he'll get that chance to take the field once again, welcoming through the Coliseum tunnel with his brothers. USC takes on Stanford this Saturday in the biggest Pac-12 game of the week, the only Pac-12 in-conference game of the week. It's a big enough one where there only needs to be one. Number 14 Stanford taking on number 5 USC at home. Now, it's the 10-year anniversary of what is widely considered the greatest upset in college football history. I'm talking Stanford in 2007 when they broke USC's 35 straight home game win streak. Stanford was a 41-point underdog in that game. They were led by first-year head coach than Jim Harbaugh. No one even really talked about Stanford back then, but they came out to upset USC 24-23. I don't think it's going to be quite the upset this season. Obviously, the two teams pretty evenly matched. Stanford has been a force to be reckoned with in the North in the Pac-12 for the last couple of years. USC obviously a heavy contender in the South to take the championship and head into the college football playoff this season. So a really good game for all Pac-12 lovers to watch. It's at 5:30 p.m. on Saturday at the Coliseum. It's the only conference game. As I said, the Cardinal has won 3 in a row by double digits. They beat out USC last year 27-10 at Stanford. This year it's at home for the Trojans. I think it's going to be a lot more competitive. It will be interesting to see how that Stanford secondary goes up against Sam Darnold. He struggled in week 1 against the Broncos. I think you're going to see him come into his own in week 2, be a lot more comfortable, open up that playbook a little bit more. But it's also worth noting that USC's run defense did struggle against the Broncos. They really allowed a lot of the run game to open up for Western Michigan, and Stanford presents another strong run game with Bryce Allen, that running back, stepping in for Christian McCaffrey, and their quarterback, Kellen Christ, is also a bright spot on that Cardinal offense. So a really evenly matched matchup coming into this contest. But if I had to make a bold prediction, which I'm going to do right now, I'm going to take USC, not out of bias because I am an alum, but I do think USC will come away with it at home. They have a lot more to lose than Stanford. They're trying to inch their way into the top 4 throughout the season for that college football playoff. I'm going to go 28-24 USC. I think it'll be very close in the first half. I think USC will come away with it, squeak by with that win to remain in the top 5 heading into week 3. But that's all the time I have left. Make sure you turn into week 3 of Around the Pac coming up next Wednesday. But for now, follow me on Twitter, follow GetSportsFocus. Let me know what you want to hear, your reactions, all that good stuff. But for now, I'm Kristen Lago for GetSportsFocus.